Doom isn't just a game, it's a legacy. For decades, this franchise has been the gold standard of first-person shooters, delivering heart-pounding action, terrifying demons, and a soundtrack that makes you feel like a one-person army. From the pixelated chaos of the original Doom to the modern masterpiece that was Doom Eternal, this series has always pushed the boundaries of what a shooter can be. But now, we're stepping into a darker, grittier chapter, Doom: The Dark Ages. The question is, can it live up to its legendary predecessors, or does it fall short in the shadow of its own legacy? In this review, we're diving deep into the gameplay, the story, and everything that makes this game stand out or stumble. So, grab your shotgun, rev up your chainsaw, and let's find out if Doom: The Dark Ages is worth your time, or if it's just another demonic disappointment. Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we're all about diving deep into the latest games and giving you the honest, no fluff reviews you deserve. And today, we're talking about a game that needs no introduction: Doom: The Dark Ages. Doom is back, and this time, it's darker, grittier, and more brutal than ever. But here's the big question: is it a masterpiece that lives up to the hype, or a missed opportunity that falls short? Well, that's exactly what we're here to find out. So, whether you're a die-hard Doom fan or just curious about this latest installment, stick around because trust me, you won't want to miss this. Alright, let's set the stage. Doom: The Dark Ages takes the iconic fast-paced, demon-slaying action we all know and love and throws it into a dark, medieval fantasy world. Imagine the Doom Slayer, but this time, he's battling through castles, dungeons, and cursed landscapes filled with grotesque, medieval-inspired demons. It's like Doom Eternal met Dark Souls, and the result is as epic as it sounds. One level that really stood out to me was the Cathedral of Blood. It's this massive, sprawling level with multiple paths, hidden rooms, and a boss fight that had me on the edge of my seat. The atmosphere is thick with tension, and the soundtrack just amplifies the experience. Another unforgettable moment is when you're riding a demonic dragon, raining fire down on hordes of enemies. It's as epic as it sounds, and it shows how the game isn't afraid to take risks, challenging but fair. The difficulty curve in Doom: The Dark Ages is spot on. It's challenging enough to keep you engaged, but it never feels unfair. The game does a great job of ramping up the intensity as you progress, throwing tougher enemies and more complex scenarios at you. Even on normal difficulty, you'll need to master the combat mechanics and use every tool at your disposal to survive. But if you're a masochist, the higher difficulties will push you to your limits, catering to new and veteran players. For new players, the game offers a smooth learning curve with tutorials and tips to help you get started. But for veterans, there's plenty of depth to keep you hooked. The skill ceiling is high, and mastering the combat feels incredibly rewarding. Plus, the game encourages replayability with hidden collectibles, challenges, and multiple endings, so there's always something to come back for. Now, let's talk about the story. If you've played previous Doom games, you know the drill. The story is usually there to justify the chaos, but it's not the main focus. Well, Doom: The Dark Ages takes a slightly different approach. This time, the narrative feels more fleshed out. You're not just a mindless killing machine, you're a warrior in a dark, medieval world, fighting to save humanity from demonic overlords. The game introduces new characters and lore that tie into the Doom universe, but with a fresh twist. Think knights, castles, and ancient rituals, all mixed with the classic Doom chaos. Is it groundbreaking storytelling? Not exactly, but it's engaging enough to keep you invested between the relentless action sequences. If you're here for the lore, you'll find some juicy tidbits. If you're here for the action, the story won't get in your way. It's the perfect balance. One of the standout features of Doom: The Dark Ages is its tone. Gone are the high-tech labs and space stations of the previous games. Instead, you're thrown into a grim, medieval world filled with Gothic architecture, eerie forests, and crumbling fortresses. The art direction is phenomenal. Every level feels like a dark fantasy painting come to life. The medieval setting isn't just for show, either. It influences everything from the enemy designs to the weapons. You'll face off against demonic knights, grotesque beasts, and even massive dragon-like creatures. It's a fresh take on the Doom formula, and it works incredibly well. The dark, oppressive atmosphere adds a layer of tension that makes the action even more satisfying. And let's not forget the soundtrack. If there's one thing Doom games are known for, it's their pulse-pounding music. And The Dark Ages delivers once again. The score blends heavy metal with medieval-inspired instruments, creating a unique sound that perfectly matches the game's tone. It's intense, it's epic, and it'll have you headbanging as you rip through hordes of demons. The sound design is equally impressive. Every weapon has a satisfying crunch. Every demonic roar sends chills down your spine. And the ambient noises in the environment make the world feel alive, or should I say, undead. It's clear that a lot of care went into making this game not just look good, but sound incredible too. Transition to next section. So, with its engaging story, dark medieval tone, and killer soundtrack, Doom, The Dark Ages sets itself apart from its predecessors. But how does it hold up when it comes to gameplay? Let's break it down. Combat is fast-paced, visceral, and incredibly satisfying. The new medieval-inspired weapons, like the demonic warhammer and flail, add a fresh layer of chaos to the gameplay. The glory kill system is back and better than ever, with even more gruesome animations that make every kill feel rewarding. The dark, medieval aesthetic is a breath of fresh air for the franchise. The environments are richly detailed, from crumbling castles to hellish landscapes, creating an immersive experience. The lighting and particle effects are top-notch, making every explosion and demon encounter feel cinematic. The introduction of mounted combat, for example, riding demonic creatures into battle adds a thrilling new dimension to the gameplay. The skill tree and upgrade system allow for deeper customization, letting players tailor their playstyle to their preferences. The soundtrack, composed by Mick Gordon or a new composer if applicable, is a perfect blend of heavy metal and dark orchestral tones. It elevates the intensity of every battle, with multiple difficulty levels, hidden secrets, and collectibles. The game encourages multiple playthroughs. The addition of a horde mode or multiplayer if applicable adds even more value. While the combat is fun, some missions can feel repetitive, with a kill everything in the room objective that doesn't always evolve. The lack of varied mission types might leave some players craving more diversity. As with previous Doom games, the story is minimal and mostly serves as a backdrop for the action. While this isn't necessarily a bad thing, players looking for a deep narrative might be disappointed. Some players have reported occasional frame rate drops during intense battles, especially on older consoles or PCs. A few bugs, like enemies getting stuck in walls or AI glitches, can break immersion. The fast-paced combat and high difficulty might be overwhelming for newcomers to the franchise. The tutorial could have been more detailed to help players get accustomed to the mechanics. While the demons are creatively designed, some players might feel that there aren't enough new enemy types to keep the combat fresh throughout the entire game. Despite its flaws, Doom, The Dark Ages delivers an adrenaline-fueled experience that fans of the franchise will love. The combat is brutal, the visuals are stunning, and the new mechanics add a fresh twist to the classic formula. However, if you're looking for a deep story or varied mission structure, you might find it lacking. Overall, it's a solid entry in the Doom series that's well worth your time, especially if you're here for the action. So, is Doom, The Dark Ages a must-play or a skip? Let's break it down. If you're a fan of the Doom franchise, this game is an absolute no-brainer. It takes everything we love about Doom: the fast-paced combat, the jaw-dropping visuals, and the adrenaline-pumping soundtrack, and cranks it up to 11. The medieval twist adds a fresh layer of brutality that feels both familiar and excitingly new. But even if you're new to the series, this game is a fantastic entry point. The combat is intuitive yet challenging, the level design is top-notch, and the dark, gritty atmosphere is downright immersive. That said, it's not without its flaws. While the story serves its purpose, it doesn't exactly break new ground. And if you're not a fan of relentless action, this might feel overwhelming at times. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give Doom: The Dark Ages a solid 9/10. It's not perfect, but it's a bloody good time that delivers exactly what it promises. Pure, unadulterated chaos. Compared to its predecessors, it's definitely a step up in terms of creativity and atmosphere. It doesn't quite reach the revolutionary heights of Doom 2016, but it's easily on par with Doom Eternal. And when you stack it against other FPS games in the genre, it's a clear winner for anyone craving fast-paced, demon-slaying action. So, should you play it? Absolutely. Whether you're a longtime fan or a newcomer, Doom: The Dark Ages is a hellishly good time that's worth every minute. Now, go grab your shotgun and rip and tear until it's done. Alright, now it's your turn. What do you think about Doom: The Dark Ages? Are you excited to dive into this brutal, medieval-inspired chaos, or are you sticking to the classics? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss out on our latest gaming reviews and breakdowns. Oh, and speaking of reviews, next up, we're diving into insert-related game war topic. For example, the most anticipated games of 2024. How Dune: The Dark Ages compares to other FPS games. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.